to emphasize the fact that if businesses, and most, I would say 99.9% of the companies in my organization provide some type of leave. And so whether it's to this level or not is the question, and that needs to be up to that business. We need to have the flexibility to make those changes. There was a passionate testimony given in November, at the November meeting about a gentleman that had to make a decision on whether to lay people off or suspend their leave. And as employees, they chose to suspend their leave and keep their jobs. That flexibility is mandatory for businesses to succeed and to continue to provide jobs. The article in the Arizona Republic this week, I think, is pretty telling. I won't read the article, but Arizona ranked 49th in the United States for ownership of small business. That is not a statistic that we want to continue. And the reason that we want to be able to have this flexibility is so that these businesses can continue to flourish, or we can keep the businesses here and keep them flourishing and try and attract more. This study was done by the Kauffman Foundation, a Missouri-based nonprofit that studies small business activity. And so this is not something that was proposed by proponents on either side of this issue. This was a completely non-biased report. And the share of adults owning small businesses and the number of small businesses that are at least 5 years old are decreasing in Arizona and not starting. And so we've got to make things more flexible. We have to give every opportunity possible to employ our workforce. Arizona's unemployment rate is dismal, and restricting and putting these kind of controls on that are mandatory when people are already providing some level of paid leave, we need to keep that flexibility. And so that businesses that want to do it and can do it have the opportunity to use that as a competitive advantage over their neighboring business. But keeping that flexibility is key. That's all I have.
Phoenix, Arizona. I'm a small business owner in Tempe. I have 2 restaurants. And there's been some great points on both sides of this argument, and I've really appreciated hearing from the student that just spoke. It's a very well-intentioned ordinance, it really is. But unfortunately, there's a cost to it, and there's a cost factor to it. And the question is whether or not that cost factor is enough to kind of offset the benefits that it proposes. I can tell you that in our business, in the restaurant industry, it's incredibly competitive. In fact, the restaurant industry is probably the last perfect competitive industry there is. There's a restaurant in every corner. And because of that, we have very, very thin margins, well into single-digit margins. And so I want to talk a little bit about how this impacts our employees. Anytime in any business you have a cost, a new regulation, a new labor factor that you have to account for, you reduce your operating margin. You have to find a way to offset that operating margin. Because we're in the restaurant industry and we're very labor intensive, we have very thin margins. And so when we have a labor factor that increases dramatically, as this ordinance would do to our business, we have 3 options as business owners. We can either go out of business by losing the operating margin, and that's undesirable. We want to have jobs for our employees, and we don't want to go out of business. So obviously we're not going to opt for option 1. The second option is we can cut costs in some way. Benefits, training, labor, hours for our employees. And the third option we have is to increase our prices. Because we don't want to go out of business and lose all the jobs that we provide, we're going to opt to increase prices and cut back on operating hours. So how does this impact our employees? Well, it impacts our employees incredibly negatively. It's a very regressive policy in this sense. We cut back on hours, so our employees have less hours, which means they have less disposable income, and yet the things that they want to consume in the marketplace now cost more. And now that doesn't impact rich people. It doesn't impact the rich folks that live around the university. It impacts people at the low income level. It impacts them negatively because they have less disposable income, and things that they want to consume in the marketplace now cost more. Now that 25 to 50 cents on a sandwich or a meal may not mean much to a rich person, but it certainly means a lot to the low income earner. And the last thing I'll say is we have a restaurant about 2.5 miles away from our Tempe location in Phoenix. And a lot of our Phoenix employees and a lot of our Tempe employees work crossways. and they go from one restaurant to another, and it's a great benefit to our employees because they can pick up more hours. They can have more disposable income. They may only get 20 hours at the restaurant in Tempe. They may only get 10 hours in the restaurant in Phoenix, but when you combine those, it's 30 hours. That's very significant to them. Unfortunately, this ordinance would no longer allow those employees to cross between those cities. So those 10 hours that they pick up in Phoenix or those 10 hours they pick up in Tempe, they would no longer have, which would reduce their disposable income by a third. And again, this is a very well-intentioned ordinance. It really is, but we have to understand how it impacts small business. And I think that the city of Tempe should be in the business of making small business much more competitive, not less competitive. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ken Bonham. I'm with Lucid Agency in Tempe. First and foremost, for those of you who weren't at the last meeting, I want to make it very clear this will not affect my company, my business, or my employees. We offer all of this. And I do not think there's a business in here that offers better benefits to their employees than my company. It doesn't exist. We have unlimited vacation, if you can believe that. The reason this is a problem is because it's not good for small business, and I don't appreciate a union that's based out of Washington, D.C., that was started to represent meat packers and grocery workers to come in this town and tell myself and other fellow small business owners how to run and operate their business. First and foremost, that's why it's wrong. Secondly, why it's wrong is the city of Tempe did not put this forward, as the young man said. They did not put any of this together. They are not taking a position on this. They're not saying they're for it or against it. An outside interest group put this together. So the city of Tempe knows that this is not a good thing. It's not a good thing for their businesses. And for the people that you're trying to help, this is going to hurt them when those small businesses close and relocate. And for all the people in the community that talk about their small business Saturday and shop small, well, when you run those small hardware stores out of business, you're going to be shopping big, because all you're going to be doing is going down the street to Home Depot and supporting the people that you claim to hate. And in regards to AARP, you know what? My parents are older. My mom has stage 4 cancer. She's dying right now. And I would never ask anyone in this room to pay for my mother's death or her illness. My family can take care of that. I'm not going to reach into anyone else's pocketbooks and try to get them to support anything that my family's doing. I'll lean on my community, I'll lean on nonprofits, I'll lean on the church if I have to. I'll figure that out. The people I wanted to speak to today, unfortunately, aren't here. And in true political fashion, a lot of the politicians already walked out of this room. So I'm going to say what I wanted to say to the two politicians that aren't here, that I don't even think showed up today. It was very discouraging last week or 2 weeks ago. An overwhelming majority of the people in this room stood up and said why they can't afford to make this work, how that will cause them to either relocate their business or go out of business. And to have a councilwoman stand up here and say we're going to do it anyways is very discouraging. Because at a city council level, you're not supposed to have an R or a D next to your name. That's why when you see signs all across the country, there's not a donkey or an elephant on their sign. It just says elect so-and-so. You're supposed to be representing your taxpayers, the fellow people in your community, and your neighbors. And to not even take things into consideration and listen to the people in this community that are telling you, no, don't do this, we can't afford this, is very discouraging. That's why people all throughout this country are feeling disenfranchised because politicians just go and do whatever the heck they want. The people in this community don't want this. And to add a few other things here, you know what? One major problem going on here is you referencing kids you go to school with. Kids don't go to college, adults go to college. And from the time I was 15 until I was 31, I worked 2 or 3 jobs. It took me a very long time to get where I'm at. So you know what? Things aren't easy. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to roll up your sleeves. Sometimes you're going to have to do things you don't want to do. If that means a second or a third job, then so be it. But when I was 31, starting my business, having 2 roommates, driving a car with 200,000 miles on it, that's not a cool thing. But where there's a will, there's a way. You know what? I am adamantly opposed to this, and I can't support anything that an outside union group brings into this town, something that the government doesn't have to comply to, and something they can keep themselves exempt from. Thank you.
Marcy Karen?
Good morning. My name is Stephen Smith. I'm a resident here in Tempe. I also have a small business here in Tempe. And I'm just going to talk about what I believe in. I believe the strength of a community is measured by how it takes care of its underprivileged, elderly, the challenged, the sick. right? Pretty straightforward. I believe quite strongly that government obtains the means to take care of these folks through taxation. Taxation is maximized when small businesses flourish. So to me, the role of government should be to set a business environment that encourages small businesses. Small businesses will then pay the taxes, the cycle continues. I also strongly believe in small businesses that offer benefits. Our little firm, there's 30 of us, we offer benefits, we offer PTO, we offer a living wage. We offer a good work environment. We know we have to compete for employees, so we offer those benefits. We get the means to offer those benefits by offering competitive services, so that we're able to offer these services and go out there and work and strengthen our company. We don't need a magic wand from the city of Tempe to tell us how to run our businesses. I'll do that myself. There's no one in this room better at operating their company than me. I know what it takes to get good employees. This is an ill-thought-out proposal, and I'll tell you why. Out of my 30 employees, one lives in Tempe, me. Everyone else works everywhere across this country. So, or they live in, other cities other than Tempe. We work right across this country. So I have to put up with things like City of Tacoma, February 2016, same thing going on. I have a business license in the City of Tacoma. This is just madness to even think now. I've got business licenses in over 40 cities across this country. How am I, as one person operating a small business, supposed to take care of that? How am I supposed to track all that? It just doesn't play. So for me, the best way for the City of Tempe to accomplish this, develop a strong business environment, leave us alone. Keep your hands out of your pocket. I'll take care of my employees. I do really well at that. Thank you.